Hello students, welcome to Learning Management System on Basics of Electrical Power System 20EE 11T introduced for first semester Diploma in Electrical and Electronics Engineering under Unit 4, which deals with biomass power, fuel cell and hybrid PV systems. We are going to learn in session number 27 about bioenergy as an extension of session number 26. After completion of this session number 27, the students will be able to understand how the electrical energy can be generated by using biomass, what is its line diagram, and how it works. Before we proceed with the session number 27, let us have a recap on session number 26. What we have learned in the session number 26? We try to define what is a biomass and what are its sources. In simple terms, when I say biomass, how we have defined that? It is an energy available, either it may be from the plants, animals, or an aquatic material which can be used and converted into electrical energy. And what are its sources? So we have discussed about the 5 different types of sources classified as biomass. We get it from forest, that is either it may be a wood or either it may be the leaves or whatever we can call it as, whatever the dead bodies of animals is and all, whatever that available from the forest. Either it may be from the agriculture residues such as husk of a rice or the bagasse of the sugar cane, or it may be from different types of wastes which comes out of the agriculture fields and all. And then we have discussed about the energy crops such as beetroots, sugar cane and all that. And then we went for aquatic. Then that the major source was algae, and another one important source is the MSW, that is municipal solid waste and the sewage. This is what we have discussed in terms of the sources. And under conversion process, we discussed about different types of conversion processes, how this biomass sources can be converted into different energy sources of electrical energy, how we can able to process. Either it may be a physical process, either it may be a incineration, either it may be a fermentation. These processes we have discussed in the previous class. And also we have seen what is an importance of biomass energy and what is its scope. In that we discussed how this biomass is very important for us, as we know, because of the plenty availability of biomass sources made us to go for such a type, and the lot of MSW that has been collected and the sewage waste which should be reduced. So one of the method for reducing them is a biomass conversion of this biomass into an electrical energy, and decentralization of the units is because in case of remote villages or faraway places and all, it is very not feasible economically, not feasible for us to have an transmission and distribution lines. Rather than having the long transmission and distribution lines, we can have their own power plant to supply such a type of clusters. So these were the importances which we discussed in the previous class. And also we have seen the benefits because it's a clean and a renewable energy. Okay, that is a major advantage or a benefit of such a type of devices. And then it produces, or it can call it as whatever the output or whatever the wastages are there out of after conversion of this, that can be used for other applications such as in case of biogas plants and all, it can be used as a manure, and in case of incineration plants and all, it can be dumped and as a dumping material it can be used. So there are a number of benefits of biomass. And also we have seen biomass briquetting. The term briquetting is nothing but what? Densification of a loose material. So whatever the loose material is there, that can be densed by either compression or by any other process, so that it can be what we can call it as the moisture content can be reduced, as well as its fuelability, or we can call it as the fuel efficiency or burning capability of it can be increased. That's what we have seen in the previous class. So in the today's class, we will learn about how the biomass can be used for generation of electrical energy. And then also we will see what are the factors to be considered for the site selection. ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ನಾನು ಸೈಟ್ ಅನ್ನ, ಯಾವ ಪ್ಲೇಸ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ನನಗೆ ಎಫಿಷಿಯನ್ಸಿ ಹೆಚ್ಚಿರ್ತದೆ. Then also we'll see the line diagram. Usually we can call it as a line diagram or a process flow diagram of a biogas plant and its working. And then as usual at the end of the session, so we'll have a small multiple choice questions test to know whether you are able to understand this topic or not. So when we dealt with the biomass energy, so we have discussed what is a biomass. Okay, so biomass, nothing but what we can call an energy obtained from organic matters. Either it may be from plants, or either it may be from the animals, or it may be from the sewage waste, or it may be from the MSW, anything, whatever you are going to get, that is what we call it as biomass. Okay, when I convert this into an energy, I call that as a biomass energy. The major cause or a major source, whatever we can call it as, is the photosynthesis process. So for all this, the photosynthesis or solar energy is the basic, and from that solar energy itself, what we can call it as, we will be able to produce this biomass energy. What are the different processes by which I can able to produce the electricity using biomass? There are different processes. One by one we'll start to learn about it. One is burning. Burning means what? It's a common method. Usually we call it as an incineration. So you will be burning that. It will be cut. When you burn this, any one of the biomass waste or a biomass source, so it will get converted into heat, which can be used for number of applications. And then in this, the electricity generated from the biomass by direct combustion. So whatever we have shown in this GIF file, just you can see. So it is biomass is directly burned, which is gets converted into, it heats the water and gets converted into steam. That steam is used to run the turbine, and then it is used to provide you, along with the generator, it is able to produce electricity. And then boiler, we are going to burn at a higher pressure, and then we are going to produce the steam. Can be used to rotate the generator and produce electricity. That's what the burning process. Second one is most important for producing the gases and all that. So that is bacterial decomposition. Bacterial decomposition ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ನಾವು use ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀವಿ. Okay, I have shown in this diagram over here. So what you will have, you will have a digester. Okay, so in this digester, whatever the biomass, either it may be from the cattle, or either it may be from the crops, or either it may be from the waste water or the drainage water, whatever you can call it as, or the food material, you are going to provide it to the digester. Okay, this digester will digest it, and then it produces the gas. That gas is what we know it as a biogas. So this biogas can be used for heating purpose or electrical generation. Okay, and it can be used as a fuel also, as a biomethane, and then that can be used as a fuel, and then it is used as a biogas. So there are number of applications. Whatever the waste that comes out, it can be a very good fertilizer, and then nothing, or you can say you will not find the wastages. Hence the efficiency of such a system is very, very high. So what we use either the animal dung or human sewages that undergo anaerobic decomposition, and hence produces what we can call it as the biogas. It can be used to generate electricity or it can be used for as a fuel also. And then we have got something called conversion of gas to a gas or a liquid fuel. So whatever the biomass that is there, first we can get it converted into a liquid or a gaseous fuel by using what we call it as pyrolysis. So we have shown it in this small pictures over here. So either I can convert that by using the pyrolysis vapors and all that. Either it can be converted into bio oil, which is a liquid form, or it can be converted into gases. Okay, so both the cases you are going to use a process called as pyrolysis. Okay, so this whatever either in the liquid form or a gaseous form, you can use it, okay, in place of a diesel for electrical generation. As it is a clean energy, it is a mostly used in nowadays and all that in biogas plants. And then what are the different factors which should be considered for selection of a site? ಏನೇನು ಫ್ಯಾಕ್ಟರ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನ ನಾನು ಕನ್ಸಿಡರ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು? ನಾವು ಒಂದು ಈ ಪ್ಲಾಂಟ್ ಅನ್ನು ನಾನು ಎಲ್ಲಿ ತೆಗೆದ್ರೆ ನನಗೆ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಅದರದ ಎಫಿಷಿಯನ್ಸಿ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿರ್ತದ ಅನ್ನೋದನ್ನ ನೋಡೋಣಂತೆ. So the first one is what? Ambient availability of water. Water ಬೇಕಾಗ್ತದೆ because you have to mix. Usually in case of biomass plants and all that, we mix 1:1 in case of say for example gas production and all. Okay, in case of incineration and all that, it is not necessary, but in case of gas production, whenever you want to produce a steam, okay, either it can, because whenever you use steam engines and all that, this water is a necessity. In case of producing, if you are going to produce gas also, there also you require a water, because we are going to mix 1:1 water and the corresponding biomass products, and then that can be used for decomposition for some days, and then after the gas will come out, that gas can be used for production and all. Otherwise, in case of incineration, directly it required for only for the steam production. One is availability of water. Ambient water should be available at the site. Okay, and then the transportation. Usually, such a type of plants are used near the load centers, but still then, from the sources to the load center, there should be a connectivity, a proper, either it may be a road or a rail transport and all that, so that it can be able to have the sources that are whatever that are required should be available. Transportation facility should be properly available. And then most important, that is availability of the biomass. ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಹ್ಯೂಜ್ ಅಮೌಂಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಬಯೋಮಾಸ್ ಪ್ರಾಡಕ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಇರ್ತಾವ ಅಂತಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದೀವಿ, ಬಯೋಮಾಸ್ ಪ್ಲಾಂಟ್ ಅನ್ನ ನಾವು ಹಾಕ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀವಿ. ಯೂಶುವಲಿ ಇಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ಲೊಕೇಟೆಡ್ ನಿಯರ್ ದ ಅಗ್ರಿಕಲ್ಚರ್ ಫೀಲ್ಡ್ಸ್, ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಎಲ್ಲಿ ನಿಯರ್ ದ ವಿಲೇಜಸ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಆಲ್ ದಟ್ ವೇರ್ ದ ರಾ ಮಟೀರಿಯಲ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ಅವೈಲೇಬಲ್. ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ದ ಮೋಸ್ಟ್ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಥಿಂಗ್. And then the cost of the type of the land. That's why we choose nearer to the villages and all that, where the cost of the land is less, and also it should be suitable for heavy equipments. It should sustain the weight as well as the corresponding, what you can call it as, usually we call them as the vibrations of them. That is what the land as well as the type of the land should be taken care before we select a plant. And then it should be away from the distant places, because whatever the particulate matters that released after combustion, they will affect the affect the polluted area. Okay, they will pollute the area of the population if the populated area is nearer by. So it should be away from that. At the same time, it should be nearer to the load center, so that the transmission losses should be less. That is the major factor that should be considered. Then let us go to what we can call it as line diagram or a process flow diagram. How the biomass can be converted into what we can call electrical energy. Before we discuss each part in detail, let us see the process, what actually it happens over here. You will have a biomass, whatever the sources are there that will be fed to this biomass. Then these biomass sources, I can call them as the sources, they will be fed to, biomass sources will be fed to combustion chamber, where this get converted into heat. That heat will be given to the steam boiler where it will convert that water into steam using the heat fumes from this combustion. So here what we are going to have, here you are going to get the steam here. Okay, that's a steam that you are going to get. This steam will be used to run the steam engine or a steam turbine, what we can call it as, which is coupled with the generator which generates electrical energy for us. This part, whatever we have shown over here, this is used to recover the water, again whatever that has been used to produce the steam, and then this portion which is used to pollution control. So whatever the fuel gases that will come out, they will be reduced, and then the clean air, whatever the minimum dust or particles or the fumes or the chemicals, it will be let out to the natural air. So these are the important, what we can call it as divisions, that what we are going to have. I repeat once again, you will have a sources of biomass which will be first preheated, and then they will be given to the combustion chamber where they will be heated. That heat fumes will be given to the steam boiler where it produces the steam, that is water is converted into steam, which whatever the steam that comes out, it runs the steam engine which is coupled to the generator which generates electricity. For recovering the steam, we are going to have a steam condenser, that is water will be again recovered and then it will be refed to this, and then to control the pollution we are using pollution control circuit, or you can say equipments over here. So this is the flow diagram of your basic biomass power plant. Just we will see one by one how it works and all. So the first one is most important, that is what we can say, after pre-processing the biomass, it will be given to the combustion chamber. What it does, so either it may be in the form of wood chips or other organic waste matter. Here it undergoes combustion and produces heat in the presence of in the presence of oxygen, okay, to produce a large amount of heat. At the same time, the steam turbine or a steam boiler, that is what we are going to utilize over here. The steam boiler, what it does, heat is converted into steam by raising its temperature. That is most important. So when the temperature is beyond 100 degrees centigrade, the water will get converted into steam. That steam can be used for our next stages. Then there is a steam turbine. The purpose of this steam turbine is to use it to produce the steam. Whatever the steam that comes out, that steam energy is converted into mechanical energy, or in general we call it as thermal energy is converted into mechanical energy. Steam andre ಏನು thermal energy ಇರ್ತದೆ, ಅದನ್ನ ನಾವು ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದೀವಿ ಇಲ್ಲಿಗೆ ಮೆಕ್ಯಾನಿಕಲ್ ಎನರ್ಜಿ ಆಗಿ ಕನ್ವರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತದೆ. Then that is coupled with the generator. What it does, the generator converts this mechanical energy into electrical energy. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಎಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಈಗ ನೋಡ್ರಿ, biomass energy was there, that was converted into thermal energy by heating. Heat ಮಾಡಿದೀವಿ, thermal energy ಅಂತ ಕನ್ವರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದೀವಿ. ಅದನ್ನ ತಗೊಂಡು ನಾವು ಏನು ಕೊಟ್ಟಿವಿ, ಸ್ಟೀಮ್ ದಲ್ಲಿ ಸ್ಟೀಮ್ ಅನ್ನ ಪ್ರೊಡ್ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದೀವಿ. That whatever the steam is there, that will be again converted into mechanical energy by the steam turbine, which is coupled with the generator which produces electrical energy. So this is the process which takes place in your biomass plant. And then for recovering, I told, so you are using a steam condenser. Steam condenser anna use ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದೀವಿ. It's a low pressure exhaust steam, whatever you are going to get after it is used in the steam turbine. Steam turbine na use ಆದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಏನಾದ್ರು low pressure ಆಗ್ತದ steam ಅನ್ನ ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಕೊಡ್ತಾ ಇದೀವಿ, steam condenser ಗೆ ಕೊಡ್ತಾ ಇದೀವಿ. ಅಲ್ಲಿ ವಾಟರ್ ಅನ್ನ ಆ steam ಅನ್ನ ಕೂಲ್ ಮಾಡಿ ವಾಟರ್ ಅನ್ನ ನಾವು ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದೀವಿ, again we are going to extract the water from it, so that the same water can be recycled or refed into the steam boiler. ಅದರ ಜೊತೆಗೆ pollution control. This is also one of the important component. So hot flue gases ಏನೇನ್ ಬರ್ತಾ ಇದಾವೆ combustion chamber ಅಂತ, either you can use a electrostatic process precipitator if it is a large plant, or you can use some other respective circuitries, or you can call it as devices which will remove the ash and other particulates matter from them, and then it can be released to the atmosphere. Only the fine flue gases, whatever are there, they will be released. Otherwise, other particles and all that will be collected, and then that will be dumped out. So this is the process flow or a line diagram of your biomass power plant. So in this session, we have learned what is a biomass plant and how this biomass can be converted into electricity, and then what are the factors involved in this selection of the site. Okay, so either it may be, say for example, availability of water, or either it may be availability of the biomass itself, availability of nearby, or you can transportation and all that, and then it is nearness to the load center. All these things is what we have studied in this, and also we have seen the line diagram and its working. So why we are using this biomass? It is used for the purpose of what we can call it as to reduce the greenhouse effect, as well as to generate a clean energy. That is the basic idea of using biomass energy. So we have used these references for preparing these notes, and also these e-resources have been used for making it more presentable. So before we end this session, let us test the understandability of you by some of the questions over here. So can you tell me what is a renewable source of energy? Whether it is a coal resource, biomass, nuclear plant, power, or a petrol. So in this, the coal, nuclear, and petrol are what we can say, they are non, means to say once they are used, they cannot be reproduced. So only that is left out is what? Biomass. It is only the thing which can be reproduced. Okay, the second question, dash kind of conversion uses heat to upgrade biomass in the fuel. Fuel biomass ಅದನ್ನ ನಾವು ಹೆಚ್ಚು ಮಾಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಯಾವುದು ಪ್ರೊಸೆಸ್ ಅನ್ನ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀವಿ? ಕೆಮಿಕಲ್ ಕನ್ವರ್ಷನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀರಾ, ಥರ್ಮಲ್ ಕನ್ವರ್ಷನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀರಾ, electrochemical conversion ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀರಾ, ಅಥವಾ biochemical conversion? So in these cases there is no chemical conversion because it is used in fuel cells and all, no electrochemical or no biochemical. So the answer is thermal conversion. So the aerobic digestion of sewages, whatever the waste, sewage waste is there, is utilized in producing what? What is going to used to produce? Metal articles produce ಮಾಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರ, whether it is used to produce a biogas, biofuel, or a nitrogen compounds. Metal ಅಂತಿ ಮಾಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಲ್ಲ, biofuel ಅನ್ನು ಮಾಡಲ್ಲ, then what we can call it as, biomass ಅನ್ನು ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಮಾಡಲ್ಲ, nitrogen compounds ಅನ್ನು ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಲ್ಲ. So this is used for producing biofuels, usually used for produce biogas and all that. Okay, so biomethane is the produced using ಯಾವ ಮೆಥಡ್ ಲೇ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದೀವಿ? ಬಯೋಮಿಥೇನ್ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು? It is equivalent to what we can usually we know it as a biogas itself. Aerobic oxidation, anaerobic oxidation, fermentation, or rectification. The answer is anaerobic oxidation. Okay, so by using that we are able to use it and produce the biomethane gas. The factors for selection of the biogas plant are ಏನೇನ್ factors ಅನ್ನ ನಾವು ಕಲ್ತಿದ್ದೀವಿ ಅಥವಾ ನೋಡೋಣ ಅಂತ. Just we'll check. Distance from the load center, yes. Availability of water, yes, you should have plenty of water should be available. Cow dung, yes, it should be available. So the answer is all the above. In anaerobic digestion, biogas production by bacterial decomposition is ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಆಗ್ತದೆ, ಹೆಂಗಾಗ್ತದೆ? Presence of oxygen, absence of oxygen, presence of CO2 ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಕಾರ್ಬನ್ ಡೈಆಕ್ಸೈಡ್ ಅಥವಾ absence of ಕಾರ್ಬನ್ ಡೈಆಕ್ಸೈಡ್ ಮತ್ತು presence of ಕಾರ್ಬನ್ ಡೈಆಕ್ಸೈಡ್ ಯಾವ್ದು ಬರ್ತದ? ಸೊ ದಿಸ್ ಈಸ್ absence of oxygen. ಆಕ್ಸಿಜನ್ ಇಲ್ದೇನೆ ನಾವು ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀವಿ, ಅದನ್ನ ಯಾವುದೇ ಒಂದು ಆಕ್ಸಿಜನ್ ಹೋಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. ಸೊ ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ವಾಟ್ ವಿ ಕಾಲ್ ಇಟ್ ಆಸ್ ದ ಬಯೋಮಾಸ್ ಡಿಕಾಂಪೋಸಿಷನ್ ಅಂತ. ಸೊ ದ ಡ್ರೈ ಪ್ರೊಸೆಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಬಯೋಮಾಸ್ ಡೈಜೆಷನ್ ಇನ್ವಾಲ್ವ್ಸ್ ಯಾವ್ಯಾವ ಬರ್ತಾವ? ಪೈರೋಲೈಸಿಸ್ ಮತ್ತು ಲಿಕ್ವಿಡೇಷನ್ ಬರ್ತದೇನೋ, ಎನಾರೋಬಿಕ್ ಡೈಜೆಷನ್ ಮತ್ತು ಫರ್ಮೆಂಟೇಷನ್ ಬರ್ತದೇನೋ, ಫರ್ಮೆಂಟೇಷನ್ ಪೈರೋಲೈಸಿಸ್ ಬರ್ತದ, ಸೊ ಆಲ್ ದ ಅಬೋವ್ ಬರ್ತದೆ. ಸೊ ಎಸ್, ಓಕೆ, ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ pyrolysis and liquefaction. Pyrolysis ಮತ್ತು liquefaction ಅನ್ನು ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಮತ್ತೊಂದು ಸಿಂಪಲ್ ಒನ್, ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ಯೂಶುವಲಿ ವಿ ಕಾಲ್ ಇಟ್ ಆಸ್ ಅ ಸಿನ್ ಗ್ಯಾಸ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಕನ್ಸಿಸ್ಟ್ ಆಫ್. ಯಾವ್ದು ಗ್ಯಾಸ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ ಇರ್ತದ? ಕಾರ್ಬನ್ ಮೊನಾಕ್ಸೈಡ್ ಹೈಡ್ರೋಜನ್, ಆರ್ ಕಾರ್ಬನ್ ಮೊನಾಕ್ಸೈಡ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಆಕ್ಸಿಜನ್, ಮಿಥೇನ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಹೈಡ್ರೋಜನ್, ಆರ್ ಮಿಥೇನ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಆಕ್ಸಿಜನ್. ವಿಚ್ ಆರ್ ದ ಟೂ ಕಾಂಪೋನೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ದಿಸ್ ಸಿನ್ ಗ್ಯಾಸ್? Okay, it is carbon monoxide and hydrogen. That is A. The answer is A. Okay, what type of fuels are coal, petrol and natural gas? ಇವು ಎಂತ ಫ್ಯೂಲ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೇವೆ? ಮುಗಿದು ಹೋಗುವ ಫ್ಯೂಲ್ಸ್. ಇದಕ್ಕೇನು ಬಯೋಫ್ಯೂಲ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀರಾ? ಇಲ್ಲ. ಬಯೋಫ್ಯೂಲ್ಸ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಯಾವ್ದು ಬರ್ತಾವ? ಬಯೋಗ್ಯಾಸು, ಬಯೋಮಿಥೇನು. Okay, these comes under fossil fuels. Yes, these are called as fossil fuels. ಮುಗಿದು ಹೋಗ್ತಾವ. ಇಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಿಕಲ್ ಫ್ಯೂಯಲ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಅಲ್ಲಲ್ಲ, ಮತ್ತೆ ಲಿಕ್ವಿಡ್ ಫ್ಯೂಯಲ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನು ಅಲ್ಲ. ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ಕೋಲ್ ಇರೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಲಿಕ್ವಿಡ್ ಫ್ಯೂಯಲ್ ಬರಲ್ಲ, ಗ್ಯಾಸ್ ಇರೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಲಿಕ್ವಿಡ್ ಫ್ಯೂಯಲ್ ಬರಲ್ಲ. ಸೊ ದ ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಇಸ್ ವಾಟ್? ದೀಸ್ ಆರ್ ನೋನ್ ಆಸ್ ಫಾಸಿಲ್ ಫ್ಯೂಯಲ್ಸ್. ಓಕೆ, ವಿಚ್ ಈಸ್ ದ ಇನಿಷಿಯಲ್ ಇಶ್ಯೂ ಆಫ್ ಅ ಬಯೋಗ್ಯಾಸ್ ಪ್ಲಾಂಟ್? ಏನು ಅದ್ರದ್ದು ಬಯೋಗ್ಯಾಸ್ ಪ್ಲಾಂಟ್ ಇನಿಷಿಯಲ್ ಇಶ್ಯೂ ಏನು ಇರ್ತದೆ? ವೆದರ್ ಇಟ್ಸ್ ಅ ಫೆಡ್ ಸ್ಟಾಕ್, ಕಂಟೈನ್ಮೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನಾದ್ರು ಅದ್ರೊಳಗ ಡಿಫಿಕಲ್ಟಿ ಇರ್ತವೆ, ಮಾಯಿಶ್ಚರ್ ಲೆವೆಲ್ ಏನಾದ್ರು ಇರ್ತದ, ನನ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಅಬೌವ್. ಯಾವ್ದಿತ್ರ ಬರ್ತದೆ? ದ ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಈಸ್ ಫೀಡ್ ಸ್ಟಾಕ್. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಏನಾದ್ರು ಅದ್ರಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾದ್ರು ಇನ್ಪುಟ್ ಅನ್ನು ಏನ್ ಕೊಡ್ಬೇಕಾಗಿರ್ತದೆ, ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಮೋಸ್ಟ್ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಫಾರ್ ಅಸ್. ದಟ್ ಶುಡ್ ಬಿ ಅವೈಲಬಲ್. Okay, try to answer. If you are not able to answer properly, please go through the video once again and then again retake the test and try to answer the questions and increase your understandability. So I wholeheartedly thank the persons who have mentioned over here who have directly or indirectly contributed in producing this session. I wholeheartedly once again thank all of them. So before we end, if you have got any clarifications or if you about the content, any suggestions, if you have got any about the tools, it may be there, content or the format in which it is presented, such as PPT, or you can call it as the modulation of voice, or the way in which it has been produced. So if you have got any clarifications, please write your suggestions to lms.etek@gmail.com so that we can improve it in our next endeavors. Okay, thank you. Thank you. And I hope you enjoyed the session and understood it.